I lived in 19 total homes throughout my life. Why are we turning it into a space to spread hate and erase so much beauty that should exist? My actual only attempt was in 2012. And what saved my life that day was a text from a friend. If you think there's a destination, then you're gonna fail from the get-go. Because like, what is the destination?
Hey guys, thank you for tuning into Unfiltered Brew. This is Noura and I can't wait for you to listen to this incredible episode with Omar Kurdi. However, I wanted to give you a quick heads up before we get into it. We experienced some external interference during the recording, which caused a few audio glitches and pauses. At around the 20-minute mark, our microphones stopped working completely, but thankfully, the cameras filming the episode were still able to pick up our conversation. We do recommend watching the episode on YouTube, where we've added captions for the best experience. Thank you so much for understanding, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Today's guest is someone whose work spans community, leadership, advocacy, and the arts right here in Cleveland. He spent years creating spaces for Arab Americans to feel seen, heard, and represented, from leading the Arab Student Union at Cleveland State University to help build community organizations and founding the first ever Arab theater in Cleveland. But today we're going beyond the titles. We're going to be talking about identity, mental health, representation, and why showing up matters. Omar Kurdi, welcome to Unfiltered Brew.
Brew.
Thank you so much.
We're so happy to have you.
I am happier to be here. Thank you.
We've been in talks about bringing it on for so long now.
We have.
That happened.
And you're like the first guest after taking such a long break, so it feels extra special today to have you in the studio.
I'm here before my long break, so
Yeah, we had this crazy
we're
one.
hanging it off.
Yeah. So I want to know, who is Omar? Like, beyond the titles, you've worn a lot of hats over the years, but if we took away the titles of accomplishment, who is Omar?
Omar is a 35-year-old Arab American who's also Kurdish, a product of displacement. Four of my grandparents come from the four different Levantine countries in the Levant region. My dad is half Kurdish and half Lebanese, so my grandfather was born in Syria. He's originally Kurdish from southeast Turkey, and my grandmother is from Lebanon. On my mom's side, my grandfather is Jordanian and my grandmother is Palestinian. Ahmed is someone who carries a lot of ancestral history, and I try to embody that in my life. I'm a dreamer who believes in the power of dreams. I'm also a human who gets tired and understands that sometimes the spaces that we put ourselves in are not always comfortable. And I'm someone who's grateful for being able to show up for myself and for my community and for getting these opportunities that land me where I'm at today with you.
You've mentioned building communities and bringing people together. And at such a young age, when you first moved here, and how, like, where did the desire to bring people together come from?
Well, I came here when I was 16 and I had no plans of moving here to Cleveland. I grew up in Jordan. Prior to Jordan, I grew up in a country in the Gulf region called Oman. And my dream was to go to college in Beirut, Lebanon, at the American University of Beirut, because I wanted to become an entertainer. And then my plans changed. My parents had been divorced. My dad was living in Cleveland. He got open heart surgery. And then I came to visit him, and he was like, "Why don't you just come to
Like, stay
Cleveland?"
here. Like, did you know what Cleveland was?
No, no.
I was gonna ask why Cleveland,
No,
but then you
my
answered.
my dad was in Michigan and then ended up here for like business work purposes, and that was my first time here. I was born in San Francisco, California, so I only knew California. And even like growing up in the Arab world, like you don't hear about Cleveland. Like we
Right.
know LA, New York, we know
Big
Chicago,
cities, yeah.
Miami. Yeah, so like Cleveland is so random.
Yeah.
So I felt like my dream shattered when my parents decided that I should move here I actually did my last semester of high school here, so I didn't get to graduate with my friends. And I just felt like I needed to find some sense of belonging.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who can adapt to situations, but then I have these Arab Americans who were born here and grew up here. And I am what my fellow Arab Americans would call a fob, the boat.
Yeah.
That's what they call
Yeah.
me.
So I was like, how do I row this to safety? so I could like blend in with my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started by joining student clubs. I joined student government in early 2010 at CSU. I met a bunch of Arab Americans and non-Arab Americans. I mean, just like my American friends. And then I realized that the Arab Student Union did not have any leadership, so we reactivated the Arab Student Union at CSU, and I led the organization for 3 years, and it made me feel whole in a sense,
Yeah.
being able to offer a space to fellow newcomers that are coming just for college or for the Arab American students who've lived here and grew up here, and just bringing all of these things together and offer mentorship, offer help, a listening ear, because at that time, like the financial crisis was going on, so like a little different than the situation we're in today, but like the
Yeah.
financial crisis was going on like 2008, 2009, 10, 11 was such a wild
Yeah.
time, and having that access to being able to lead and to start like these spaces is something that I felt was necessary, and I'm glad that I did that.
So you grew up between different cultures
Mm-hmm.
and different countries. And where does it feel like home?
So there's in my third poetry collection that is almost done, there's a poem that I wrote and it's titled 19 Homes. I lived in 19 total homes throughout my life. And I learned that home is where I feel loved, where I'm able to give love. Because, I go on vacations and I go on trips. Like I felt when I was in Romania last year, I felt like Romania was home. When I felt like Spain was. And I feel blessed that I am this guy that is able to find this love anywhere that I go. Right now, Cleveland is home. Cleveland's my base. And for how long, I don't know. But I think for the time being and for whatever time I have here, my job is to make sure that this is the most loving and welcoming and embracing home for me and for the people that I care about.
So you talk about how you've grew up in different homes and 19 total homes in between growing up in Jordan and to the States. How does your experience of being Arab translate to an Arab American community right here in Cleveland, where some families had already been here for generations?
It's tough. Tough because for families who have been here for 50, 60 years, we have Arab American families that have been here for over 100 years.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like in their process of upkeeping and protecting culture and heritage, some are still stuck in habits and traditions of the past, where like these same communities in the region
Have
have
progressed.
evolved and
Yeah.
progressed and developed. So I space for that and I respect it and I love it. But like it was hard in the beginning going to college. So I grew up in Jordan. In a very mixed society. I didn't even know my Christian friends were Christian. Like
Yeah.
I found out when I got a little older, and then they started splitting us in religion class. And I was like, why is my friend not in this class with me?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, what do you mean? So I came here to find that like in conversation about being Arab and Muslim, but like also, which is also like a political process of the erasure of Christians, and trying to like bring that together. Then I'm telling people, like, I remember I even showed some folks like videos of my sister's wedding. I was like, how are people dressed like that? I was like, it's normal. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is how it is. There are people that are modest and there are people that will wear the hijab, and there are people, and there are Arab Christians and there are Arab Jews and there are Arab Jews and there are Arab atheists. So like Arab is the hardest, in my opinion, the hardest identity to define,
Yeah.
because like what is Arab? Like if you get technical, there are 22 Arab countries in the Arab
Yeah.
League. Somalia is technically
Technically
a
Arab.
member state of the Arab League, but I've met a lot of Somalians who don't identify
Yeah,
as. So for me, it's like identifying as an Arab ultimately is a choice.
Yeah.
And you identify as an Arab, I respect it. I received online hate for my choice of identifying as an Arab because I'm also Kurdish. But I grew up in an Arab country. I grew up in an Arab household. The language that I spoke was
Yeah.
Arabic.
Yeah.
I love and I respect my Kurdish identity and heritage, and I hold so much space for the catastrophes that
That
this
yeah.
community that has been through and their need for a nation and then belonging. But me identifying with an Arab identity does not erase that. If anything, I feel like it amplifies it.
How did you navigate
Through that,
challenges? Yeah.
So in the beginning, I would sit and craft these long responses, and I was like, let me educate. But then I realized, especially after one post when I was just talking about identity, that it felt like this was more like an organized attack rather.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who is a social media influencer, is like, just let it go. Because if someone actually cares to know or understand, they won't come and attack. And I think with my experience, I've learned who is leading with curiosity and who's just leading with hate. And it's sad, like the nature that we're in today with social media, with cancel culture, with jumping into
Yep.
rather than understanding where we're
Understanding, yeah.
coming from, that we're all humans, that we have families and we have responsibilities and we have jobs. If we're online for a few hours a day, we're literally trying to escape a lot of the madness that's
Yeah.
happening outside. So
world.
why are we even taking this space
Yeah.
that could inspire? Why are we turning it into a space to spread hate and erase so much beauty that should exist
Yeah.
within our people?
I do think a lot of people tend to react, or when they see something online, instead of sitting there and actually understanding your story and understanding your experience, they just react. Like it's easy to just react instead of understand, and that's
Is
the problem with people.
100%. It has to, I think it comes down to people's capacities of understanding.
Yeah.
I'm a lot. Like it's like I've recognized and I've accepted and I love that I'm a lot. Didn't ask to
But
be born in a country.
why do you say you're a lot though? How do you explain that you're a lot?
I just care so much. I like from 19 homes
Yeah.
to living in 3 different countries, from the amounts of schools that I've changed, the life experiences, divorced parents, the moving, dealing with losing my dad, and like it's mental health, and like starting these different organizations, my day job. It's a lot, but I'm also a very expressive person. I don't believe in hiding who I am, because only one person, if I could inspire one person, for some people who do not have that capacity to understand, they're going to react. They might hate, they might not say anything, but I think a lot of people are just comfortable and ignorant rather than just asking the right questions. And they're comfortable in projecting their insecurities
insecurities
rather
onto
than
others.
understanding and embracing. Because listen, I have my insecurities too. Like, I'm not perfect.
I mean, I feel like we all
but
do. Yeah.
but I cut people slack. Like
Yeah.
we're all struggling on this
Yeah.
life, like on this earth. We're all dealing
Yeah.
with
some
stuff.
sort of-
So I'm not gonna come here and just add more to your plate.
Do you think that people that tend to struggle with, being vulnerable, I think that's where it's from, when people try to attack and all this because they don't want to be vulnerable and they don't want to admit when they're wrong. Do you think that has anything to do with the way maybe they didn't have the right tools growing up to be able to address that issue, and then now they're taking it out on others?
100%, especially for men. And another layer, Arab men.
And do you think
Mental health is
still a stigma?
yeah, it's a taboo. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember when I said that I'm going to therapy, that was like, but you're not crazy. I was like, has nothing to do with being crazy.
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
panic attack while lobbying and trying to advocate for the genocide happening in Gaza, and it was heavy. I was in Washington, D.C. I had a meeting at the White House. I had a meeting with the HUD Secretary, Senate, and the Democratic Party, and then it just landed on me. I was like, "What? Who am I? Like, why am I in these rooms?" And then I had a panic attack. The next day, I woke up, found a therapist, scheduled a call. I was in therapy my first day as a 33-year-old in 2023, and I've been very open about it. I've been very open about my mental health journey. I will continue to be open. And last night, I was on the phone with the Suicide Crisis Lifeline for 2 hours. It's heavy. People don't know what I lived through behind the social
Behind closed
media.
doors, yeah.
And
It takes a lot to come on and
Yeah.
speak about it
it
publicly.
did. Yesterday was a lot, and I posted on my private social media that happened, but I'm very proud of myself. And I'm sitting here hoping to inspire someone that like I will always continue to choose life, even if it doesn't work it. And the resources are available.
Available, yeah.
Lifeline.org saved my life last night, along with my therapist, and provided me with what I needed to be here. And the dark cloud is still there, but I guess I'm
You're
just
working through it.
wearing my shades today, and woke up with a new mission to just continue to inspire and to live and to be me, and got into my music this morning.
We're very grateful that
That you're
here
here
with
today. Yeah.
I'm grateful to be here.
If there's anything that you can share specifically with your demographic, an Arab American man who is struggling with something in their life, to inspire to take that step towards healing, what could you say?
Ask for help. We are not beneath asking for help. And there is nothing shameful about asking for help. There is nothing shameful about expressing your feelings and showing love and expressing love. We've been accustomed into this provider role as men, specifically Arab men. And you could provide and you could go to work and you could make sure that there's food on the table, but we need more. Your kids will need more. Your friends will need more. There is no reason that the only time I remember my dad ever told me that he loved me was 3 days before he passed away.
I think a lot of Arab families lack of
100%.
expressing the love. They
No.
say, we love you through our actions. Well, we want to hear it too.
100%. And it doesn't take away
Yeah.
from your masculinity.
Yeah.
And specifically now for Muslim men.
Yeah.
If you're following the model of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was a sensitive, emotional man. He often cried. He showed love. He expressed love. So like, what model are you following?
Yeah.
By pretending to be a brick?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
putting up
Because
like a
I know
guard.
you don't want to be a brick.
with my background and from the Balkans and Croatia, and a lot of the Croatian and Balkan men that grew up showing vulnerability was a weakness. So why do you think so many cultures associate a man being vulnerable as being weak?
Because they don't understand vulnerability. Because it probably happened somewhere in history that someone was vulnerable, it was used against them, and then they just, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're giving the enemy the weapon. But no, vulnerability is my strength. And me being open and expressive, in my opinion, has been my source of strength, why I'm still here and why I'm sitting right here on this chair to you. Because I go to sleep every night knowing that I said what I needed to say and I did what I needed to do, and I don't owe anyone an apology. And when I do, I try not to go to sleep without hurting anyone, without causing any trouble for anyone, and with realizing that like I've lived my true self for the day, and that I get to live my true self the next day.
Was there ever a time where you didn't feel like you were living to your true self and being authentic to who you are?
I mean, I guess maybe just there were phases, I guess, growing up. I've always been on this journey. So it was, it's like you're flipping a book. I was just like flipping a page and a page and a page and a page. And I guess still got more pages to flip.
Chapters to write.
Yeah.
So, but I'd like to think that I've always been myself. I was just like unraveling these different layers.
And I know now you're releasing music. You've always wanted to be an artist. How's that translating into your work every day? As you peel
I
layers.
feel like now it's become heavily part of it, in a sense that I'm trying to involve as many people that are about into the process, whether at work or outside of work. There are some poetry, and that is inspired by stories that I've heard from friends or things that they've been through. I mean, I had who were divorced. I wrote a song about, but I made it a fun breakup song.
Is that the new man?
New Man is also another like breakup song,
Yeah.
which is also cool. It's fun.
Or was it based on your personal experience?
Sorta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in a sense, but also being who I am, I'm always kind of exposed to a lot of stories around me because I
Right,
meet a lot of people. So like I just I bring things in. But creativity has always been part of my life. I try to get creative at work. I for my day job, I take care of adults with disabilities. I run a vocational training center for adults with disabilities. So I have to get creative so my
Yeah.
individuals are not bored and they're learning and they're having fun and they're enjoying their time. And outside of work, I try to get creative with even the advice that I might give to people, or I try to get creative with how I'm dressing. It's just who I am. And I've been singing since I was a child. I've been on stage since I was 6. So it cannot really escape me. I feel like I've just mastered sort of how bringing it into my life. But music, it has the latest that I've got to
The
sort
most
of
recent.
like pursue in this journey, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to do what I
Yeah.
enjoy.
Your best come from? But is it happiness, heartbreak, anger, love?
So, as an emotional, expressive Arab man who grew up with an Aries mom,
What's your
and
sign, by the way?
I'm Sagittarius,
Okay.
the best sign. People can argue with me, but I love all the signs, but I think my sign's the best. And I grew up with an Aries mom, also a fire sign, and a grandmother who loved old black and white movies. Heartbreak inspires the most because there's beauty in finding happiness, not even after, within it, throughout the process. And because grief is heavy, but it's beautiful because no grief is like the other. You could literally meet a person who has grieved so many people, and I bet you that they have not grieved the same. There's so much that you can extract out of out of a sad heart and a sad
It's
emotion.
the emotion, yeah. It's the
Yeah.
heavy emotion where you can get, I think, the most like expressive about, right? And
I
you really
agree.
like do
And
the
you-
work, the
yeah,
inner
and
work.
you actually sit there and you learn about yourself through the process. You learn. I mean, you mentioned your dad passed away, so I know how that feels too.
Sorry.
It's okay, we're all in this together.
I know how it is to lose somebody you're so close with and not know that like you're never gonna see this person again, and it just like brings out different things in you that you've never even like. It was so strong that I didn't even realize how strong I was. I had to deal with something like that, and
Nobody
it's
prepares
painful,
you
and no one
for
prepares you
that.
for that.
No, absolutely no.
apologize.
This is the beauty of grief.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to deal with that because I know how hard it is. But that's why you're so strong, and you're like your story. Just listening to you now, it's just I love it. I'm so grateful you're here.
I'm grateful that I'm here in this pink studio.
Recently renovated. You're like, I think, our third guest
I'm
that gets to
just
sit
very
it.
proud of. Well, I did ask Nora what to wear, and she said her green. I'm happy I wore.
At least stand out. Yeah, we were all on the same thought process this morning with our costume.
That's
Even though
just
it's
Even
been
how
like
shoes,
5
right?
minutes, yeah.
the frequencies
It's
are
the-
clicking.
It really
We
is.
talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And we talk about how connected we are,
Like our
ethically,
souls and-
spiritually.
Those are the best relationships and friendships you could form, and I feel like they come as gifts from the universe because sometimes, like, I feel like God knows that we need that anchor. So I'm glad that you both have each other.
we need each other.
Yeah. So, we've talked about your music, and you mentioned that you were on stage at such a young age, and that what led to, how did you go into building the first ever Arab theater in Cleveland called the Masrah? How did that come about?
Beautiful question and a beautiful story. So prior to me joining the conversations about starting Masrah Cleveland Al-Arabi, the executive artistic director of Cleveland Public Theater, Raymond Bogan, incredible artist and a friend, had launched Teatro di Público, which is the first Latin theater in Cleveland. So he started gathering some folks from the Arab American community into the space to talk about establishing an Arabic theater. I was getting those emails, but I just never responded and I never went. And I don't know why. There was a February 2018 meeting that I just decided to show up to. And it was
And that was at the Cleveland Theater.
Yeah.
Theater.
So in Gordon Square, and that was the meeting that we actually decided on the name Masrah Cleveland Al-Arabi. April comes, I travel. June comes, my dad passes away June 12th in 2018. And then the launching date of Masrah was July 13th, 2018. So like 31 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was set to perform. I was like, do I go? Do I not? Raymond was like, you don't have to, but I decided to show up. And I feel like, again, how the universe brings things to you. Masrah saved my life in that period. Because for a whole like season, I was performing this poem and a song that I wrote for my dad. So I just got to grieve my dad with other Arab Americans who understand that we are launching a platform that has never existed before.
Yeah.
So while it was like a heavy responsibility, it provided me that venue, 100% literally. And like for a couple nights, I got to mourn and celebrate my dad with 600 people that came to watch the show. And now Masrah is still performing. There will be a new show in November. I have taken an acting break, but I love to see this project continue. We've toured, we've performed in Michigan. It's been covered in media here, nationally and international media in the Arab world. I think it's one of 3 in the country for Arabic-speaking communities. So it's very unique and it's very special that in Cleveland we have a platform for Arabic-speaking individuals to go perform. You don't have to be experienced. You don't have to be a professional actor. You just show up as you are. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
It's all in Arabic.
Yeah, well, Arabic and English. And we have what we would call super titles. So on like a projector up there, like what's in Arabic will be translated in English and vice versa.
Oh, that's so nice because you have. I was just about to say I want to do that because I think that's cool. Like to see that, and I wish that all these
Little pockets of community.
communities come together and
And we
see
should.
different cultures and different, and even like American people that want to learn more about the Arab community, and regardless of who, but it's nice to just go and attend when you have the teleprompter. You
100%.
can understand.
100%.
It's just beautiful to see different cultures.
And
all
for our
around.
first ever show, we didn't even have that. And I'll never forget, we had a woman come from the Dominican Republic to watch. She didn't understand no English nor Arabic,
so she just
but she was crying the whole time. And because like that's the beauty of art. It's felt. It's felt. I feel like if you go into any space, any artistic space with an open heart, you're just gonna feel it without complicating things. I know understanding the language matters, of course, but I feel like if you're going there like to feel it, but
theatrical
100%. So, and the bulk of our audience has been non-Arabs.
Yeah.
So like it has been for people to learn about who we are, and I feel like if you want to learn about my community, there are courses in college, and there are all these different political podcasts and all these books and whatever. But in my opinion, you will learn who we are by watching our art and listening to our music and watching our films, because we're not that we're only good at it, but we really pour our heart into these kind of works. So I invite anyone to follow Cleveland Public Theater and see when the next show will be in November.
It's beautiful.
So you've created Arab representation through community work and organization, building organizations. But what can art accomplish that advocacy can't?
Access in a sense that having a political opinion within advocacy spaces sometimes will sort of add sort of a block, especially if you're not open-minded or you're really hanging on to your political opinion and you're not willing to have a conversation. But I feel like when it comes into art, it's there.
Yeah, it's
Like if I-
expressive and
100%.
it's a way for people to come together.
If I post a video on YouTube, whether it's a music video or if there's a film in the theater, whatever, anyone can go watch it, and you're not gonna be asked if you're a follower of this party or if you believe in this or if you believe in that, and someone might go in there and they might leave with a different perspective. So art provides that kind of like emotional access into a topic, and it also provides depth that I feel like a political conversation cannot provide,
I agree with that.
especially in this climate that we're in today. So
Especially in this time and era. And do you think that you being a creative person has made you a better leader in leading those organizations within our community?
I would like to think so. Leadership is hard. And I think 18 years of my life, I've been in community organizing in different capacities. A good leader should recognize when they don't have the capacity to lead. And when I recognized that I don't, it felt odd. And odder to people that know me than myself.
Yeah.
Because Omar can do it, Omar will show up and Omar will. But I feel like I am on a path where art is going to lead me into becoming a better leader in a different capacity.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's a young Arab American kid watching me, or any of the other Arab American artists out there. Is like, I could still have a job and I could still produce art. I could still be involved in community, because I'm not heavily like disassociated. I'm just taking a little bit.
Backseat. You're sitting in the backseat.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and 100%. And it's literally because of, I'm doing this because I am inspired by the younger artists. Because I didn't get to do that when I was young. I mean, again, I grew up in an Arab household.
It's a taboo.
Yeah, the
being,
taboo
right?
being an artist. My dad was like, my firstborn will not become a singer, will not become an
We can
entertainer.
relate, yeah. We were
There's
I
no
can
financial
relate to that too,
security.
because even with my
Yeah,
children,
so
it's the
I'm
same.
basically living my life again, especially that I also am now taking care of my health. So I used to be a bigger guy. I did weight loss surgery 2 years ago, so I dropped 140 pounds.
Wow.
So I'm also like,
That's amazing.
Figure-
You
like-
feel like a
Yeah.
really
yeah,
person
like
now
I'm figuring
that-
out
yeah.
things that I couldn't do before, like I went skydiving the day that I dropped under
That's
250
my
pounds.
man.
She jumped out of a plane in Dubai, and I'm
I
like,
did Dubai.
You wanna go?
Let's go.
Okay, I've done it twice.
Me
Here.
too.
I
I've
did
done
it
it
here
twice.
in Phoenix.
You wanna go? I told her the other day, I said, can we go parasailing? And she's like, I just talked about it the other day that I'm never gonna
no,
go
because
parasailing.
the second you said it exactly the day after I saw a video, it was circling around actually like the Arab world. There was a video of 3 women who parasailed, and the cable snapped, and they weren't able to like.
Listen, when it's time, it's time.
That's my take on that is, if I'm meant to die, or if I'm meant to go in a way that it's gonna happen when I walk outside my door, or my,
The
you know,
chances are higher when
you
you
have
jump
to. Actually, it's safer to be on a plane than a car.
It's true.
It's true, but jumping on it. I mean, I have a fear
As
of heights.
she literally drives, like she goes and she drives, she's a crazy driver.
Unfiltered Brew.
I'll be on the phone talking to her, and she'll like, hold on a second, I'm chasing this guy that literally just tried to cut me off.
I mean, I'm sure
Oh my god,
Have you
please
seen how we drive overseas?
Yeah,
I'm sorry that we learned, like,
right. The
speed limit doesn't exist.
Lanes don't exist.
No, it's
Ladies don't
actually true,
exist.
because her, my cousin Diana, my other friends, like they're all crazy drivers. I'm like, it must be from overseas, because
I have a hard time. So
I'm
I'm
like
really,
a grandma.
so I'm a good driver.
By my insurance.
I'm a good driver. I struggle when
I'm
I
just
go to
joking.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Because, I sit and I let people pass. My mom was like, Yalla!
Yeah, they don't give you.
Like, yeah, like, I was like, no, like, I gotta let them pass. I was like, yeah, we're gonna spend the rest of the day here, like, waiting for everyone to pass.
You know what's so funny? You know, speaking of driving, my sister texted me yesterday, literally. She's like, I think I'm getting a new insurance for us. We share the same car insurance.
Yeah.
And then she's like, did you have any like driving history or speeding tickets in the last 2 years? And I confidently said no. She's like, yes, you did. You had one on this date. Remember the one I was doing like 35 on 25, but I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's. And then she's like, you had another one, and she was reminding me of all these speeding tickets.
You're like, oh, I
I
forgot.
forgot all these speeding tickets.
It's okay, as long as, like, you just feel like the roads are
Just be
getting a little
safe.
crazy.
Yeah.
Please be safe, everyone. It's not worth it. Stop.
Yeah.
I've developed this habit of, like, if it's an important text, I will stop.
Yeah.
And
Or you
send
can
it.
just voice text.
Yeah.
I don't like
Where you can send voice recordings that
Be
I
prepared.
said-
Don't even start that, because she'll send me like 3 back-to-back voice notes, and they're each like 5 minutes long. I'm like, do you think I have the time to sit there and listen to you speak? I'd rather you skim through your.
And I actually literally sit there and tell her, I'm like, welcome to Cats from Radio.
I will get the, like, transcript of the audio
And then just read it.
and read it, and then sometimes it doesn't even make sense, but I'll just make the best out of this
Yeah.
text. I'll just
Yeah.
send, like, a little response of, like, I think, like,
Yeah, but she's the type also to send a voice note while she's doing something else. So she'll like story, and then she's like, And then she'll be talking to someone else. I'm like, and then that's in the voice note, and I'm just sitting there like, really, cat? Like, you just call me at this point.
So true. That's funny. But anyway,
We're safe. We made
so-
it. Drive safe.
Yeah.
yes. So we talked about disability and your work with adults with developmental disabilities is a huge part of your life. Where did that passion come from?
So my dad had married my stepmom when he got here. My stepmom's son, my stepbrother, is autistic, and he had graduated high school, and we didn't really find the right fit for him as a program. So my dad and my stepmom decided to open one.
Yeah.
And I was very anti working with family. I was like, I'm gonna find my own path. And I was in Jordan for a trip. I come back and my dad was like, why don't you just come work with us? And I was like, okay. I come, first day, where's my office? And he was like, what office? It's like, you're gonna work on the floor. You're gonna learn by working with these individuals. So I am very grateful for that experience. So I learned from scratch. I spent my days with these individuals learning the ins and outs of the business aspect, but also developing these beautiful relationships with these folks. You want to talk about unconditional love? It's that.
Yeah.
Yes, there are situations when behaviors will happen, where escalations could happen, but those are just part of the job and part of the diagnoses of these individuals. But when they tell you they love you,
It's unbelievable.
oh, they mean it. When you get like that hug, the hug that they will give you is the most meaningful, most loving, and most comforting hug that you'll ever receive. I had an individual who moved out of Northeast Ohio, but my little buddy would wait for me outside the door every day until I made it. And even when I'm on vacation, they'll be like, he's not here. He would wait. For one thing, he just wants to show me his wallet every day. So for 3 years that he was here, I sat with him every morning to look at his wallet and his little baby picture that he had there. And
That's priceless.
it made my day and it made his. And those individuals are part of our community, and we need to show them,
March is the
and
developmental
100%,
Disability Month.
and they're marginalized and they're not understood, and there's like all these conversations happening on the political side of the world where they want to cut Medicaid benefits for these individuals, and I'm like, no, like there are these friends need help, they need support. I talk with families all the time, they struggle. Like moms who have to go to work, but make sure, like it is, and then they have to go to work, but they have to make sure that they have someone to like watch their kids when they're not at work, and then that too, because people come into this field, thinking it's easy.
Yeah.
That's why it has a very high turnover, because it's not made for everyone. Like you
It-
truly
it's-
have
Yeah.
to love these people to work with them.
And also, it can be extremely heavy,
Mhm.
right? To
Yeah.
experience that. And
100%.
also feel that sense of guilt that,
Mhm.
that they don't get to live up to what could have been a life outside of their disability.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And you
100%.
carry that every day with you when you work.
Like this project, our community bank, where we set up a community bank, we've been receiving donations, and then we invited our community for this week to come and grab what they need. I've let them lead almost 90% of it. And like they're asking for me to come down and like see, and I'll come and I'll check on them, but like I've watched them like really step out of their comfort zone, and they're meeting our community friends, and they're guiding them and helping them.
Giving the opportunity to
They're
be
talented.
there, yeah.
They're talented, and they're loving, and they want to help, and they deserve it. And I want to say thank you to all of the different businesses around our region and around the world that will hire individuals with disabilities and will give them an opportunity. I wish more could do like more of that, because I feel like they'll bring more blessings to your space.
I always get excited because I know Giant Eagle, which is a local
Mhm.
grocery
They do a good job, by
They
the
do a
way.
good job because I see a lot of
And Marks too.
and Marks. I have the local Giant Eagle next to my house hire people with disabilities, and it's a beautiful thing. Like they're the friendliest, and they're so pure. They really are. I love what they do, and they do it with compassion. They're smiling.
And they're very proud of it, and it's so meaningful.
And when they say like "Have a great day,"
Yeah.
you can tell.
You can
really
tell. I actually worked for a restaurant that has them come in and they clean. And, you know, they, instead of like hiring an actual cleaning company, they work with Deepwood Foundation. I don't know if you know who they are. They're on the east side, and they all come in and they all clean in the morning before the restaurant opens. I actually did an event with Deepwood Foundation. Charlie, shout out to Charlie, he's a sweetheart. He has always wanted to be a bartender. So we did this event on a Sunday, and all these people came in. I mean, it was over 300, 400 people, and I was the one that was teaching him how to be a bartender. And his drink was blueberry lemonade. I still remember Charlie's Lemonade. And I mean, Fox 8 was there, Channel 5 was there. This was actually at my old job, Valentine. But we also did one at Billy's too, which another girl wanted to be a DJ. So we
Give her opportunities.
so that's like something that I continue to want to do, and we're gonna do something in the March too, hopefully.
If you ever need, I'm available.
So it just, you know, they've always want to do all these things, and why not make it come true for them?
No, 100%.
It's so rewarding to be able to help them.
I have an individual that works every Halloween. He loves to act, and every Halloween he's in these different haunted houses as an actor.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
So it is a little frightening when he shows up with a costume to the program. Like I'm not gonna lie, I've been startled multiple, but but it just puts a huge smile on my face after, because like he's happy.
Yeah,
He's happy, and
people.
I'm just like, don't jump in front of me, but like he's happy.
That's funny. What do you wish more people understood about developmental disabilities? Like what?
That they're just humans, and they have rights, and they have feelings, and they have emotions, and what they lack, we could lack too, because there are individuals that are disabled because of accidents. So like we're not far from it.
Yeah.
So let's not act like we're above it. Just lead with love and just provide that like comforting space. And if we can help them, I feel like we could get into more of an inclusive community. And it's okay if you don't understand it. Like I get it, like because we're not really taught about it unless you go and take a college course.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't understand it, but I feel like parents could do a very good job with their kids. Just telling them like kids are kids. We don't have to make faces like they're not scary, they're not terrifying, like because like
They should educate kids in these schools. Honestly, I don't even know what they're teaching their kids in these schools anymore.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are the important things that they should. And I think if people or schools took the time to actually educate children or kids, you know, at a young age, maybe less bullying would happen. Maybe people would understand,
100%.
you know, what this person's going through, why they're from here. You know, I just.
It's a cycle. Like that's the thing. Like I've always been saying, like I'm waiting for the moment. Like people are trying to break their own wheels, but like we just have to break the big wheel. And I like maybe there are movements building to just break that big wheel, but like we lack so much love in this earth. So much. Like I'm an Arab, so like a lot of my work and advocacy is focused on like Arab issues, but then like you look at Ukraine, and then you look at China, and then you look at Congo, and then you look at Sudan, and like I mean there are like over 200 countries around the world. Like I can only imagine like the hundreds of millions of children that are hungry, that are poor, that like the fathers that can't afford medicine for their children, the mothers who die while delivering babies because of lack of like access to care. Like that's not. And I know I can't do it alone, but like that's not the world that I aspire to live in. So like the only thing I could do is like try to build a smaller world around me that could hopefully just like create a snowball effect. But it's not easy, and especially when the climate outside is tough, and like there's so much happening, economic crisis, political crisis, etc. But if we lead with love, and if we cut each other some slack, and if we show up for the people that we love, and if we act on that love, because like I don't want you to tell me that you love me and just go.
Actions speak louder.
Like actions speak louder, and I'm not saying buy things or like literally just like show up or listen. Sometimes that's all we need. So like if that's what we lack, in my opinion, it's just like love And
Speaking of like listening, I think like the other day, remember we were talking about a situation, and then I was just listening to you, and at the end you really acknowledged it, like thank you for just listening to me today. I needed that. Sometimes you gotta allow someone to really vent to you and just release everything that they're holding in inside, because we hold on to so much beyond what our bodies can handle, and can show through our work, our health, our thyroid. And so I want to emphasize, just if you have someone who is close to you, just pick up the phone and listen to them.
And not everything
That's all it takes.
needs a response.
Exactly. Yeah.
And not everything is an argument.
Not everything is a solution
And
either,
not everything
right?
is a solution.
Yeah.
Like validation is so important, but I'll tell you this because I've been through it.
I want about validation.
Yeah, I realized that the most important validation I was missing was my own.
Yourself.
So we don't want the external validation. And I feel like once you've made peace with who you are and what's going on within you, everything else will fall in place. And I'm not coming from a place of perfection. I'm still learning. I'm still learning to show myself grace. I'm still learning to show myself love and to not beat myself up. But it's a process. It's a journey. Like mental health and taking care of who we are. There's no destination. If you think there's a destination, then you're gonna fail from the get-go. Because like, what is the destination? You're gonna fully heal? None of us are fully healed. We're just humans that wake up every day with issues that fall on our lap, and we just go through them and swim through them and swim through these waves, hoping that the next hour's swimming will be peaceful. But the sea of life doesn't end until we're just in that box underground. So while we're here, I feel like the only validation we need is our own, and that will only happen when we pace ourselves and love ourselves fully and properly.
Why do you think people, and generally speaking men, tend to want to fight and chase that external validation, especially online?
I think the current circumstances of social media has created an environment that is very unhealthy for people in general, men and women. If we're not getting the right amount of likes, if we're not getting the right amount of comments, if I'm not getting the best exposure, views, whatever, then I'm not good enough, I'm not valid, and I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there before losing weight. There was a time where I used to edit my pictures to like slim myself, or else that picture would never make it on my Instagram. And then I stopped.
Really important to talk about that.
I'm very open about it. Like I would edit pictures. I was like, this is not good enough. I'm filling the entire box. I'm gonna like slim from here. And then I would zoom in and do like, I would do such a good job to make sure that like the wall behind me is not, I was like, the wall behind me is not bent too, because you can tell sometimes like, oh, what is this curve so bad? Like I've been there. But then I was like, no, like that is fake. And the recognition I'm getting because of that is fake, and it's not meaningful, and it will not take me anywhere. And I used to pay for boosts on my content. I'm back to the basics. I'm back to the organic, even if it's 100 views. I just want the things that matter. I want the people that matter. I want authenticity. I can't lead with authenticity when I'm chasing these fake or like these big numbers that will not hold me.
I relate to the picture thing because there's times when I wasn't secure in myself that I would use filters or I would, and this is me being very vulnerable because this is not me right now, because I've learned to heal and I've learned to, I've learned to love myself, number one. To not want to use filters anymore. So now I'm like, this is who I am. I'm posting this picture, and this is either you take it or leave it, and that's what it is. But before I was like, oh God, like I gotta look like this, or I have to like my wrinkles or my under eyes or something like that.
I think wrinkles show our wisdom and our beauty and aging.
You know that the best wine is the aged wine.
I don't like wine.
I know.
But you can still take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like I've done Botox.
Yeah. You can still exactly. You can still take care of yourself, but also still advocate for.
And do it for the right reasons.
Yeah. So like Audrey Hepburn said, there was a little quote I saw the other day where she was a little bit older and she was doing a photo shoot for a magazine, and the photographer asked her if she wanted her face touched up and cleaned up, and she said no. Like these wrinkles are showing my years of hard work and sweat in this industry, and it shows my wisdom. I don't want any of that removed, and that really inspired me. I'm like, I'm gonna go a little bit longer without Botox. But also, as you get older, I'm surrounded by younger girls.
Yeah.
I have 5 beautiful nieces, and I want to be able to put out this example that you should love yourself regardless of how you
100%.
look. And you're constantly comparing yourself with girls online, and I think my nieces have seen like the worst online. To be honest, I try to keep them off social media, but it's you can't. There's no way to escape it.
Yeah.
And the
100%.
right way to do is to lead by example.
100%.
To show them like, yes, I have gray hair and they grow out, and you know it might take me a little extra few weeks to get to them, but it's okay. It's part of the growth journey, and I feel like it's a reflection of, just like who I am as a person. I don't have
100%.
anything to hide. I've been very vulnerable online about my thyroid problem, my weight loss, weight gain journey over the last 10 years. I will say I always try to lead with that, especially having girls look up to me. That was something I wanted to stand up for and just allow women to be who they are and love themselves. And I always say that to you, don't I?
Yeah,
I say,
yeah,
just remind
yeah.
you to love yourself. Because women can be really hard on themselves, I have to say.
I mean, I feel like we're our worst critics of the day.
I know, because also like again like with the external validation, because there's that trend of like you have to be a certain size, or you have to like dress a certain way, or like you need the perfect skin, or you need the perfect tan, or whatever.
You know what? At the end of the day, what matters is that if you're a good person, because a
100%.
good person is always going to be a good person, the beauty always fades.
100%. And I wish again more people would just lead with that. I don't care.
And I didn't think of that like 5-6 years
Yeah.
ago. I was always like, oh my gosh, I have to like
Yeah.
be better. I
I
didn't
think it's-
really, I
and I
wasn't
think
comfortable with
that's-
skin.
Like this is like this journey, I feel like it's normal, like because like I like for anyone who's listening, like if you're in that phase, or like if you are where we are, or if you're like far, you're gonna get there. And I hope that as you get there, you just like again show yourself grace and don't beat yourself up, because like the world will beat you up enough.
Yeah.
The last thing anyone should do is beat themselves up because they are on a journey of self-discovery and healing. So you can heal from that external validation, from societal societal boxes. And I've said this multiple times, like, and we're humans, we're not made to fit in boxes. So screw the box. You're not made to fit in a box. There is no box that will fit
one
you
mold,
and me.
right?
No, there's no germ, no molds. We're not here to conform. So it's okay. It's gonna be hard. Sometimes it's gonna feel lonely. I mean, I felt very lonely last night, but I found eventually the help that I needed. So the resources are there, whether it's a friend, whether it's a professional help, whether it's a website that you could go to. Don't be afraid from
Well,
asking.
we are your resources, so if you ever feel lonely, please just
Thank
reach
you.
out
We should
to
start a
us.
hotline, 1-800-UNFILTERED.
No, seriously.
Yeah, we should.
I know, and
Yeah.
honestly, because
nice,
yeah,
yeah.
and look,
Because you don't know who.
You never know what someone's
Struggling
going through
or-
behind
No.
the screen. Honestly, like I remember. I mean, I've talked about this earlier this year. There was a time last year where I was really going through it. We were still recording episodes, and I remember waking up that morning before one specific episode. I think it was right the one before we had Alyssa, and I was not okay that morning at all. But I somehow showed up with the God's grace and her amazing. Yeah, I remember that morning. It was a rough morning. It's just so hard to just look back and think about it. But yeah, I was going through it mentally. I was so heavy and I was so done. You could when you watch the episode, you could not tell because it was just a facade. Honestly, a lot of people do that,
And it's hard.
It's hard, yeah.
that pretending.
Yeah, pretending is way harder than
It's
actually.
very hard. A friend told me last week that, Omar, you've been very jaded lately, and people are just so used to you being positive. And I was like, I'm tired. Like, it's me right now. Like, I can't, like, I want to radiate positivity, of course, but like, I'm also like, I can't
You're
fake it.
human, yeah, you gotta be
Like,
real.
I have my days, I have my moments, and we need to show up for our people. That if we know that they're going through it, we need to show up for them. My actual only attempt was in 2012, And what saved my life then and made me throw up whatever I had taken that day was a text from a friend, random, doesn't know what was going on. I was like, just want to know that I love you and I miss you. So like, if there are people that we love and care about, just remind them that they matter and that their existence matters. Just random sometimes, even if they're not going through it.
Right.
Just do it.
Just
like
communicate it.
literally communicate it. I tell them like, I don't want anything. I just want to fill this world with love and art. Like the world is mad.
Yeah.
Like let's just put more art, more conversations like this, more flowers, more paintings, more dancing shows, more fashion shows like that beautiful one Eamon did. So from here, Eamon, I appreciate you and I'm proud of you.
I love her.
I'm so inspired by her. So like show love, show appreciation to the other leaders around you. We're all in it. Like we're not immune to these
Honestly, your
like
posts
emotions.
always put a smile on my face. Like when I was on vacation, like if I popped onto Instagram, yours would somehow also pop up in the front, like forefront, and then I'm like, I gotta hit him up as soon as I get back.
I'm still new to like this content creation.
Yeah, but
You just gotta do it. You gotta post.
Yeah.
Post. Don't wait. Just do it.
I don't want to
Something
edit. I don't want to
crazy.
yeah.
People just want to get to know
Yeah,
you.
this is just who I am.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put more of who I am out there. Yeah.
Do we talked about our cultures, and we talked about, you guys you come from the Arab countries, and then I come from Croatia, and like the mental health back in the day, like you used to, when young boys, and I know I've seen it in my own family, like would cry, and your dad would be like, stop crying, like you can't show emotions or any of that.
shutting it. Yeah.
They're shutting them down. That, you're man, you can't show emotions. What do you think our generation now is getting right about mental health that generations back in the day couldn't? Like, do you think we're going to break that pattern?
I think we are breaking slowly.
Yeah.
One beautiful thing is I still think we need more, but at least within my community, I'm seeing more Arab American therapists and mental health specialists. So that's beautiful.
Okay, that's good, yeah.
I'm seeing more people speak about their mental health, and I'm actually seeing more men like speak about their mental health journey. So like I think, but it's also the access to social media and to these like online platforms that has helped in relaying this message and like showing that like we've sort of evolved into that. But I still think there are families that will not accept it. There are families that will look at you weird if you have therapy. I have a friend who goes to therapy that is hiding it from his siblings and his parents. It was like, I don't want anyone to know. And listen, I'm guilty of it too. Like when I decided to go to therapy, I was like, I want to go to a white therapist. I ain't telling my secrets to an Arab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what if they go and like tell everyone?
And you also feel
Yeah.
a sense of like shame or a sense of feeling embarrassed
Yeah.
in a sense, especially sharing vulnerabilities to another Arab. I understand that because even when I started therapy, I didn't tell anyone either.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was sick and tired of hiding behind this wall where I finally like opened up to my sister that I started actually encouraging her to go to therapy.
Yeah.
And like, by the way, like therapy has helped me heal from this situation and the generational trauma that has been trickling down for generations. And I have to say, like, I have to give myself credit. I feel like I'm one of the few people in my extended family that have openly talked about mental health and going to therapy and really breaking
love that.
100%.
because so many people are afraid to do so, especially being a woman.
I'm
Oh,
proud
yeah.
of you.
Community.
You gotta break,
Yeah.
you gotta cut the cord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
gotta cut that
you
cord.
don't need to be ill or sick
Yeah.
to go speak to someone.
Yeah.
Like mixing up mental health or therapy with having a disease is such a big problem. Like
Yeah.
has nothing to do with craziness. Like sometimes you just want to
You just
have
wanna have a conversation.
Biased
to someone like who's
conversation.
not gonna judge me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, the therapy journey too. I do want to like. I know for some people it's hard. You might have to shop with therapists, and until you find the one.
Connect with
Yeah, I was lucky that my therapist and I just connected from the get-go. But be patient. But go ahead and do it. And if you're scared to speak to a therapist, find my contact info and reach out to me. And if you're Arab and you want to speak to an Arab American therapist, there's a list there. I could connect you with folks that could help you. Just like make the first step, and I swear, like life will change for you, and you deserve to be a better version of yourself.
And don't be
Like has
afraid.
nothing to do with the people around you. You deserve
You owe it
To
to
be a-
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
You owe it to yourself.
Put
100%.
yourself first. Choose yourself.
Absolutely, always.
Should we do a quick rapid fire?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's go.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Biggest red flag.
Lying.
I like it.
Like that one.
Yalla.
Acting or writing?
Writing.
Biggest pet peeve.
Oh my God, so many. But probably like the latest is not saying thank you if I held the door open for you.
Ooh, I hate that.
Honestly, only people in America
Or
do that.
shutting the door as you see me walking.
What's one Arabic word you use all the time?
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
A lot, yeah.
God willing.
Yeah, and
I
already
hear you say that too, and I also hear you say mashallah.
Yeah, I use inshallah
I
in all
say
of its
habibi.
concepts.
Yeah.
I love habibi. I speak Arabic all the time, but inshallah I use it a lot. And yani.
And yeah, means like,
Like,
yeah.
Yani is like,
Yeah.
you know what we
Yeah.
from like in a conversation,
Yeah.
like
Right.
yani is like the same
The
thing.
same way, yeah, the same
Tell me
concept.
something that I should say. Okay, let's do something real quick. Tell me something that I should say on here in Arabic, but then I'll figure out what it means after I leave.
You go.
Tell me
You know,
something.
for me,
Yeah. Say something that I should say, but then I'll figure out what it means after.
you should say or it's directed towards you.
Or whatever.
Okay, well I think you should say this to yourself. أنا روحي حلوة وأنا ملهمة لكتير ناس وكل حدا رح يكون فخور فيي بس الأهم أكون أنا فخورة بحالي. It's okay, take the recording and listen to it.
Recording and go back and translate. It's actually great. أنا روحي حلوة. Just say that. أنا
أنا
روحي
روحي حلوة.
حلوة. أنا روحي حلوة.
Yeah, let's just stick with
Yeah.
that.
أنا روحي حلوة.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
You're holding it already, so you know it's meant to be.
Yeah. One last one. Who's one person you'd love to have coffee with
Today,
today?
to be honest, it would be Mu'taz Azaiza, photojournalist from Gaza,
I know
who
him,
yeah.
survived. And he doesn't follow me yet on social media, but we've had conversations on Instagram. He's responded to me, and it just makes my day. I am so inspired by that man.
I follow him on the whole journey.
If he ever watches this, like, I just love
Make sure
him.
to
We
tag
want to
us.
come you on. We want you to come on.
I love him so much. Him and everyone,
He was a
like
true inspiration
that
for us.
resilience.
He was, yeah.
He's literally 10 years younger than me, but
God bless him.
God bless
honestly.
him.
I watched all his whole journey, and like I've literally followed
He's
him through
opened
the
your
whole
eyes.
process, and he has really opened up my eyes. And I would love to meet him one day, actually, because I
Oh,
know
we can
not
make it happen,
being,
yeah.
you know, I followed him myself, and
We'll make it happen.
okay.
Well, this was an incredible episode.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, it was so inspirational. I'm sure at least one person will take something out of it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yes.
Inshallah.
Thank you for coming
Thank you.
on and
Thank you.
listening to your story, and thank you to all of our listeners. We appreciate you always listening to us and coming back, and we all love you very much, all of you.
And
And
don't
Thank
forget
you.
to subscribe, guys. And we'll make sure to tag Omar Kurdi's account so you guys can keep up with his amazing journey that he's on right now. And we can't wait to see what you're up to next.
Thank you. Inshallah.
until next time.
Till